Who is the surprise manager of the season? We're going to put forward 3 options and then vote. We want you to get involved as well. Dan, who are you going for?
Good evening. I think it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. I think as great as some of these managers have been, the success of being in Europe, being in the top 6, not even the top 6, top 4, top 5. And I think it's about consistency. And if we would have had this conversation in December, everyone would have said, Emery, he would have said how well he's doing. But in terms of to still continue it, the cup competitions, the European competitions, injuries that they've had, and to still keep up the consistency of how he plays, the pressing, the squad rotation, the amount of money that they've spent compared to some of the other clubs around them, I think it's a no-brainer for me.
He's had an amazing time there, especially off the back of Gerrard and how bad it was. Turned it around massively. Yeah. I'll go next. I'm going to go for Iraola. The reason I'm going for Iraola is I think something that will kind of get forgotten a lot of the time is that when teams come up, sometimes they do survive and there is a different energy about them that gives them that chance. We've seen it over the years. Huddersfield or Luton Town are kind of giving it a go this year. And when they stay up, that season after, it's actually harder than you think to stay up again, I think, because the adrenaline's gone a little bit. And I think with Iraola, to come in and to try and get what he wants across, to play exciting football like he has done, to go through the start that he went through, losing those first 9 games, which I know doesn't help in terms of the overall stats, but for him to now get them on a 7-match unbeaten streak and then get them into 13th spot, playing exciting football as well, I think he's done an incredible job. And I think it was a surprise because I think a lot of, if you're not a hipster like us, you would have turned your nose up, and a lot of people did, especially after, I guess, the next contender had done such a good job at Bournemouth. So I think Iraola's filled those shoes really, really well. Who is that final contender then?
Yes, well, of course it's O'Neill. As you mentioned, he did such a good job at Bournemouth, and I felt really bad for him for the way it just kind of ended, that he kept them up, did his job, especially when he came in as well in the first place, and then was kind of given the boot and the door closed behind him straight away. And then he goes into a job at Wolves where they've sold all of their best players. They have no money to spend. The manager has just left. You've got a week before the Premier League season starts. No pre-season. And good luck with how things are going to go here. Oh, and also you've barely got a striker fit and available. But he's now, fast forward to here, unfortunately, he's just got injured, but Cunha, he got the absolute best out of him whilst he was playing. Hopefully he's back before the end of the season. He's been able to get some really big results over traditional top teams in Spurs and Chelsea. I mean, last season, Wolves scored 31 goals in the entire campaign. This year, they've already scored more, on 39. I think he's managed to... Wolves' fan base and all the noise in the summer was really not good. It just felt like things were not going to go their way. I think I myself put them to get relegated this year as a prediction. This was before O'Neill had come in charge, and I felt so sorry for O'Neill going into it, not really giving him much credit or much hope, really. And he's done such a good job. Managed to get the best back out of Pedro Neto again since coming back from injury. He had so much up against him coming into this season. I think when you look at a lot of managers, if you look at a lot of people's predictions where they would have put Wolves at the start of the season, all of them would have had them relegated, and he's done so much better than anyone could have imagined.
And he's a QPR legend.
And he's a QPR legend, which is crucial, because I am a QPR fan. Voting time then. Who are you going to go for, Dan?
Good evening.
You stick with your boy.
I'm staying stubborn.
Okay. So are you sticking with your boy?
I'm going to stick with my boy.
So it's on me, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm moving away from Iraola. And it's not a QPR thing, I promise you. I think it's a great point that you make there. To take, with no time to get ready, a team that was really boring, have substance of points, but style as well. And he's a very effusive manager as well. I think he'd be a great manager to play for. Gary O'Neill gets my vote. Who gets your vote? Let us know.